You're on the channel Ruslan Belov, and today we'll discuss the global situation as of May 9th, 2025. A lot has happened today, so let's get started. If we talk about the line of contact, there are alarming signals coming from certain areas. The most concerning reports today are from the Kherson direction. Over the past few days, we've paid special attention to this sector of the front because it's unclear whether the Russian side is planning to cross the Dnieper estuary and the Dnieper River, or if the Ukrainian side is preparing an attack. From the latest news, one thing is clear. At the moment, the fiercest fighting is unfolding around the Antonski Bridge. According to Russian sources, Ukrainian forces have deployed units to the area of the village Darchi. Battles are now underway for the bridge itself and this foothold. The Russian side is also transferring additional units. This could be the beginning of something bigger, or it might just be a battle for initiative over this strategically important area and the nearby islands. There are also reports that Ukrainian forces are launching massive artillery strikes on the Kinburn Spit. It's possible that some provocations may follow soon. Next, we move to the South Donetsk sector of the front. Today marked a turning point in the fighting for the village of Bogoteer. One after another, pro-Russian sources are making adjustments to their maps, coloring at least 30%, if not more, of the settlement as under the control of the Russian army. Summarizing all these adjustments, we can confidently say that by the beginning of May 9th, the Russian armed forces had established approximately this level of control over the area. This includes not only Bogoteer, but also a stronghold in the southwestern part, as well as approaches to the village of Otradnoye. Additionally, some pro-Russian experts note advances by Russian forces in the eastern part of the village of Alexeyevka. If we summarize all the news from the past 24 hours, pro-Russian sources show roughly this zone of control. As you can see, the Russian army has entered Alexeyevka from the east and expanded its control in the southeastern part of Bogoteer. In other words, we are witnessing the final stage of the battle for these two settlements. Next, we move to the Pakovsk sector, where the most critical information is coming from. Today, Ukrainian sources from the 32nd Mechanized Brigade published footage showing Russian soldiers carrying what appears to be supplies or ammunition into a basement in the village of Zverevo. Shortly after, Ukrainian FPV drone operators struck the building. The exact location of these events has been geolocated, and we can see how far Russian units have advanced in this sector. If Russian soldiers were moving near this basement, it clearly indicates that the front line is likely much further east, closer to the bridge and water barriers. Thus, it appears that by the start of May 9th, the Russian army already controlled approximately this part of the so-called Pakovsk agglomeration, a significant advance. This is the first geolocation confirming it. If we summarize all the news from the past 2 weeks, including today's report on Zverevo and the earlier reports of Russian advances from Shevchenko toward the southern part of Pakovsk, a very troubling picture emerges for the Ukrainian armed forces. Roughly this entire sector is either contested, shrouded in the fog of war, or under Russian control. This means nearly the entire southwestern part of the Pakovsk agglomeration has been taken, a major advance and a serious foundation for a potential offensive on Pakovsk itself, which may begin after the ceasefire ends. Next, we move to the Kulban-Bixki sector, where important news is also coming in. Just yesterday, numerous experts, political, military, and cartographers, pro-Ukrainian, neutral, and pro-Russian, noted Russian advances in Alexandropol. Some sources even reported full control over the village. However, we kept the map marked as contested while waiting for official confirmation from the Russian Ministry of Defense or additional geolocation. Today, the first geolocation was published by the Russian side, showing Russian soldiers storming another Ukrainian trench bunker in this sector. This bunker was geolocated, though not yet marked on maps, at this precise spot where Russian troops are assaulting Ukrainian positions. Based on this footage, we've updated our map. We can definitively say that Russian units are present in Alexandropol. It wouldn't be surprising if the Ministry of Defense soon confirms this, allowing us to fully update the map. Finally, we move to the Siversk sector, where crucial footage has also emerged. Let me remind you, we've been focusing heavily on this direction because the Seversk axis is key in the overall battle for Donbas. Today, additional geolocations and footage have confirmed further advances by the Russian army. This footage was published by the Ukrainian side, specifically by the 54th Mechanized Brigade, and it clearly shows artillery strikes targeting Russian assault troops moving through the central part of the village of Verkhne Kamenskaya. Based on these images, we've made minor map adjustments. There are still questions about the cemetery and southern farmlands, which may not yet be fully under Russian control. But one thing is certain, the Russian army is advancing. The assault on Verkhne Kamenskaya is proceeding at full intensity, with overwhelming force, and while it may not happen today or tomorrow, within 2 or 3 weeks, the village will likely fall entirely under Russian control. At that point, the fighting can officially be designated as part of the battle for the town of Siversk. Next, we turn to the Lyman sector, where additional geolocated footage has emerged. Today, Ukrainian forces published another set of confirmed strike videos. FPV drone attacks on forward Russian positions west of Makiivka. The momentum here is also accelerating. Observe how the map has shifted over the last 3 days. By the end of May 6th, the front line appeared like this. By May 7th, Russian units had cleared several tree lines. By May 8th, they expanded their control zone northwest of Makiivka, and by the start of May 9th, footage confirmed further advances toward Grekovka. What we're seeing now is that the offensive near Redkadub has stalled or bogged down, while Russian forces are gradually pushing toward Grekovka, attempting to envelop the settlement. The objective is unmistakable: to straighten the front line along the Novomikhailovka-Karmazinovka axis. Success here would free up additional resources for potential future offensives toward Druzhelyubovka and Chernishino. We'll conclude with the situation near the village of Tetino. Recall that yesterday, footage confirmed Ukrainian armed forces incursions into Tetino from multiple directions, both southwest and southeast. Based on yesterday's imagery, we updated our maps. Here's how the area looked on May 7th, and here's the updated version for May 9th. While Ukrainian units may have established footholds in parts of Tetino, their progress remains extremely slow and difficult. There's a high likelihood that after May 11th, Ukraine will halt the offensive altogether. The operation's primary goal appears to be symbolic: a media spectacle timed to disrupt Russia's Victory Day celebrations. Whether it succeeds or not, we'll continue monitoring. For now, Ukrainian forces will likely persist with probing attacks and infiltration attempts into Kursk Oblast's Luzhgy district. That's all for today, friends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and take care.